Hi, it's me, Sherry, coming to you from Little Mulberry Park. This is a great park that we have here. Lots of trails, sports stuff, playgrounds, whatever. It's just really pretty and well kept. Dale is walking the trail while I am sitting in the car bringing you this video. A lot of times I get distracted when there's things going around like cars moving and people walking, so if I tend to do that today, forgive me. I don't mean to. I've been having a really rough time this week. As you know, I broke my ankle, and I am not supposed to put any weight on that foot, that ankle. And do you know how hard that is? I'm trying to get situated here. Right now, my neuropathy is really bad, and one of the problems is my hands are terrible. I got the pins and needles, but I also have weakness in my hands. They hurt all the time, and I have trouble holding the phone. I'm also having trouble getting words out of my mouth. My husband's beginning to worry I've had a stroke or something, I think. Anyway, I've also had many panic attacks lately, and anxiety is strong. And I just want this foot thing fixed. And I don't care what they do. I just want it fixed. And I don't want to have to depend on what's the word I'm looking for? See, I lose my words a lot. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, for those of you that are not really real familiar with neuropathy, it's where your nerve endings start to misfire and not work like they're supposed to. And so that's why the tips of your fingers get it first, usually, because, that's where the nerve endings are. Same for the feet. Probably also the neuropathy probably had a lot to do with me falling recently. And that's because you're left off balance and you feel like you're walking on gravel, but you're not. You're walking on your feet on whatever pavement, carpet, whatever. But it feels like you're walking on gravel all the time. And as you know, walking on gravel is not good. It hurts. And last time I actually walked on gravel, I ended up with a bad case of gout. And that's absolutely the last thing I need. And my one good foot is to get a case of gout so that I can't even walk at all. So we'll see. Anyway, neuropathy can continue to get worse when you first get off chemo. And what happens is it just continues to make you misfire and not have your nerve endings work like they're supposed to, and you end up in a situation. And the situation is you have no feeling in your hands and your feet. Sorry. Trying to add a little humor to it. This has also caused a lot of problems for me mentally because I feel helpless. I feel like, first of all, there's nothing that I can do right. Everything I do is wrong, like getting up in the middle of the night and falling on the floor. I will say that since I did fall this last time, I'm getting Dale up every time I need to go to the bathroom, and he gets up with me. He's having to follow me around the house all the time right now. I had a walker that I was using turned around like a scooter, And it hurt my leg bad because my leg was being in a position that really wasn't good for it, and it just hurt. So I went to my brother's, or went to get my brother to get me a scooter that he has. And I've been using that since we got home. It's easier to navigate around the house, except for coming in and out of the house. I want to tell you that the people who built our house are morons. There's rooms that you have to walk all the way across the room to turn on the electricity. There are rooms where there's not light switches at all. And then there is the kitchen door, which leads into what used to be a carport, but was made into a garage before we moved in. And there's a step up to get from the garage into the house, which is fine when you have 2 good feet. But when you only have one and you're trying to navigate a scooter or a wheelchair, then it's bad. The day I got the scooter, we came in that night, and I promptly fell trying to get into the house. Don't ask me how I did it, because Dale was right behind me trying to help me. I had the brake on and wasn't working. Well, I guess, I don't know what happened, but anyway, I fell. So now, whenever I have to go in and out of the door, which is anytime we go anywhere, I have a panic attack. I can't help it. I know that I'm going to be all right. I know that I might fall, but I probably will not. I know that I just got to do it. But it sends me into a tailspin. And even after I successfully get into the right place, I still feel this heaviness about it. And the anxiety hits. And then I'm anxious for the rest of the day. One thing that Dale and I have been doing since I've been having chemo is that we like to go out somewhere to eat lunch every day. I know that sounds like an unnecessary spending, but it's what works for us. And it's very hard to go out and get something to eat every day when you can barely get yourself out of the house. And I would be okay right now just staying home, eating another sandwich, and living off sandwiches or something. I don't know. My appetite's beginning to come back a little bit, which helps. But Dale needs to get out. He is taking on a big part of the burden. And this is what everybody needs to know, that when you have something like this, you have to have a person who is willing to take on your burden. In my case, it's my husband. Man, a car just pulled up beside me and I feel really self-conscious. But anyway, you have to have someone that can help you do everything. My husband has to pull my pants down. My husband had to give me a bath in the shower, sitting in a chair with him doing the bathing, me doing the sitting. And he's have to take over the washing of the clothes. He usually fixes me something to eat at night. He is doing laundry. What happened? Oh, I dropped the Ensure the other night and it went all over the place. And we had to mop it all up with towels. Boy, did those towels stink when we got them into wash the next day. I didn't do that night because I thought he can't take any more today. So after we cleaned up the mess, we just put them aside and washed them the next day. And yep, sure enough, he had trouble remembering which ones he was supposed to watch and how, which is okay. That happens to the best of us. But it was just one more thing for him to fret over. He was worried about my mental state right now. I tend to say really stupid things every once in a while, and sometimes I'm trying to be funny, but usually it's just some words that came out of my mouth that I didn't mean to come out of my mouth, and there you are. And I lose track of my thoughts. I lose track of my words. I'm lucky I don't lose where I'm at, but I still know that for a good thing. And he worries about, is this temporary? I know he's not saying it, but I know he's thinking it. Or is she like losing part of her mind for the rest of the time? Or you know, what's going on? So, there's that. He also has double cat duty, as in clean the litter box twice a day. Because I can't stand up to do it. I certainly can't lean over to do it because I'd fall in the cat box and that would be a mess that he'd have to clean up. And these people that pulled up next to me are just sitting there in their car like I am, and I wish they would go away. Sorry if you're the people in the car next to me. As you can tell, my voice is very raspy right now. Again, part of this is part of that, how do you say that? Oxaliplatin, which is the chemo drug that gave me the neuropathy. It also can affect your throat. And when you first have a reaction to it, you usually get a very cold sensation in your mouth. You cannot have cold drinks for several days usually. And no ice, period. Do not reach in the refrigerator to pull something out. You need the gloves on, or you need, I used kitchen tongs some, that helped. And then it moves on. They say it moves, it comes through the port here. See that bump? Goes up and goes around your head and down this way and continues down on into your body. So it also affects your sinuses, your ears, your eyes, your lips, everything. And usually it's for a couple of days, but the longer you take it, the longer the side effects last. And people need to be aware of that, because I really thought that, oh, the other thing is it gave me massive diarrhea the first 3 times I had chemo. It was so embarrassing. The first time, I pooped myself in the parking lot going to the car to go home. The second time it happened in the doctor's office as I was checking out. The third time it happened, it filled my bag while I was still undergoing chemo. And poop went everywhere, all in my clothes, the chair, everything. It was so embarrassing. But it's just one of those things. And when you have an ostomy bag, you know, you think, wow, it can hold it for you so you can wait till you get to a bathroom. Well, not if there's a lot of it. It's going to fill up that bag, and then the bag's going to come off, and you got all that poop everywhere. And then, ironically, after the third time, it quit doing it. So I guess it got used to that and went on to other things like the neuropathy. But anyway, I don't even know where I was going with this. When I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, usually it's because my bag is filled full of air and needs to be burped. Well, I could burp it while I'm laying in bed, but if I do, it's going to let out a stink that makes you want to vomit and throw up. So I have to get Dale up, and he has to get me up, and then I have to go to the bathroom and get on the toilet and do my little pee, whatever I have to do, and then empty my bag, pressing the air out. And then I have to clean up, go back to bed, and try to go to sleep. Well, guess what? It's not so easy to go back to sleep when you've been pooping in your bag. I like to say that. It embarrasses my husband, but this is the internet, and I can say what I want to, as long as it's not too profane. Okay, now they're finally getting out of their car, but very, very slowly. Can you hear me? Making my life very, very uncomfortable. And now they're moving along, so that's a good thing. Wish I could find a way to prop this phone up while I'm videoing, because I'm definitely getting tired of holding this phone. It's hurting my hands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this right now, and then I will come back and add some more to it. But first I got to figure out how to put 2 videos together. So I'll be doing my homework this afternoon if I can stay awake and not take a nap. So anyway, I'm going for now. See you later. Bye-bye.